Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
All right, welcome to the KVJ After the Show Podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show Podcast.
Yeah, hello, and welcome to the KVJ After the Show Podcast. We made it Friday, bitches. Yeah.
Friday.
All right. Here we go. Little party time. Gonna go out and shake my behind.
Yeah, 69.
Okay. All kinds of good stuff going on this weekend. I got somebody helping us out here because we were trying to talk about when I figured out I'm old and we couldn't remember the name of the Wet Willie's type place. It was by the Improv. And thankfully, we got Janelle here from Jupiter that said, yeah, when you're all talking about Wet Willie's, and the other one you couldn't remember the name of, it was Fat Tuesdays.
Fat Tuesdays.
Yeah, so that made me feel old. I used to call a cab at Wet Willie's, and the equivalent to that at Fat Tuesdays was attitude adjustment. Those were my jam in the early 2000s when I was in my early 20s.
Attitude adjustment, I remember that.
Those are great.
Was that next to the Improv?
Wet Willie's, I think, was, right? That sounds very familiar.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which is where. I think it was Wet Willie's.
It was.
And it's Fat Tuesdays is the one that they have on Duval Street, I think, in Key West. And I think there's also one there on Miami Beach. So I think those are the Fat Tuesdays.
I feel like a lot of people don't like frozen drinks anymore. They're so good.
Well, we know too much about sugar now, and those things are just loaded with syrup and sugar.
That's what I don't want, a fucking health speech, but while I'm drinking.
Well,
They can make them skinny now, and they do. They'll sell you a skinny frozen margarita, and it's got less sugar.
I think there are different drinks for different ages. If you notice that, you can go up and there's like a drink that matches your age. Like when you're in your early 20s, you're drinking that, what is that, Buffalo, that jungle juice or whatever they call it, the Buffalo Tom or something like that. It's got a name to it. It's the...
You're right. I know what you're talking about. They put all it's all the liquor.
Grain alcohol.
Grain alcohol.
And the punches. When you're that age, you know, like my daughter, she's 22, and they get the rum buckets and they'll drink those drinks. And that's an early 20s kind of drink. Your ridiculous sugary juices.
What about if I say Goldschlager? Does that seem young to you?
Yes.
It does. It's a young person's game.
I don't even know if is that still something people drink? I've never heard my daughter or friends ever talk about drinking that.
Let me see what Goldschlager's even doing.
I think that was a 90s
Am I just
thing.
speaking old shit over here?
Yeah, I think so,
No one's drinking Goldschlager. If I order Goldschlager in a bar, you'll hear the record player go, scratch.
Crickets, yeah, probably. I don't
They
know.
might not have it.
I don't know. I don't know
You
anything
need
about
to
it.
order Fireball, old man.
Fireballs, yeah. My daughter, they'll do Fireball.
So my two references was Goldschlager and then the record player scratching.
Yeah.
I'm old.
You're
The record player in the club.
What the shit am I talking about?
yeah, younger people are going, what does he mean record player goes, what is
Record
that?
player to Goldschlager. Who's in there? An alien?
Janelle also said that cubed ice is way better than crushed. Crushed ice melts so fast, and then y'all get his watered down drink.
Yes, girl, preach.
Okay.
I respectfully disagree.
Don't water down my drink.
Okay, that's what she says. That's why she likes the cube better.
Have you ever heard this? People who chew their ice, that means they are subconsciously sexually frustrated.
I've heard that. I
In
don't know where that-
elementary school, everybody
Yeah.
said that. Nobody said that to me in like 40 years.
Well, I have a theme today. Just old ass references.
The green M&Ms make you horny too.
They do, and they also make you hit home runs.
Somebody wanted to point out Cesar from Green Acres. You know Denny's is high when he's all excited to talk about Empire penguins and his penguin knowledge when they are actually called Emperor penguins. Puff, puff, pass, Denny's.
Empire, and they're called Emperor.
Yeah. Okay.
Denny's, that's funny.
Denny's, you've been called out.
Denny's, what do you have to say for yourself? Poser penguin lover.
You penguin liar.
It flew in this room, though.
You sit on a throne of penguin lies.
Yeah, he does.
Bunch of bullshit, man.
Yeah. Throwing everybody off. Talking food, which
He's not
we do
coming
a
in
lot.
here. He's like, nah.
Would you?
I think he stopped that a few months ago.
One last clarification from Claire on the arepas. To say that I was more than thrilled when you were talking about that. It was a great discussion, is an understatement. Just one more clarification between the Colombian and Venezuelan. That the truth is both countries have arepas, but they're so different. It's like apples and oranges. It truly comes down to your individual palate and personal preferences. But everybody knows the Venezuelan arepas are the best. The Colombian is made with the same white corn, and they add white cheese in the mix. And they make sure the arepa super flat and thin, kind of like the thickness of pita bread, so you can't really stuff them with anything. They usually just pile stuff on top. Now, the Venezuelan arepa doesn't have the cheese in the mix, and it's made thicker so that you can't open it up and stuff in whatever your heart desires. Okay? And they can be for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They can be baked or fried. So there you go.
I think we all know fried's better than baked.
So that'll be a interesting little battle, which is the better arepa, Colombian or Venezuelan. I'll put up a Twitter poll, see what we get there.
I like how they sear them in butter. That makes me happy.
I like the word sear. It's just it sounds like you know what the hell you're doing.
When the butter's like just turning from yellow to brown, and then you put something in it, and it gets that sear with that brown butter crust. Ugh. Can you tell I've been eating healthy this past week?
Tough, right?
I'm craving something bad.
Oh, have you been eating healthy? Oh, poor for a week? Fuck that.
Oh, Jaybird, you've been eating healthy for a month? Fuck that.
Oh, shit. The pansy just stepped on you.
That a boy.
That's from Fat Kevin there.
Yeah, touche.
Yeah.
Touche.
He's like, yeah, Fat Kevin, his soul just spoke. Cry me a tear, Argentina.
I'm bitching at you for bragging about a week. He's bitching at me for bragging about a month.
Yeah.
You win, Kevin.
You win. You're the most disciplined eater I've ever seen in my life.
And it sucks.
I can only imagine.
Yes. Eli Cortez said, hey, I just want to let Virginia know how good her Spanish pronunciation is. I'm Puerto Rican, and it makes me laugh every time Virginia says something in Spanish and she's trying to exaggerate the pronunciations to be cute, but actually she's nailing it. Love you guys.
Oh, gracias.
Uh-huh. Look at that. You're nailing it.
Well, my mom is half, so I'm half a half. I can't do the math, but that does mean I have a little Hispanic in me.
25%. Yeah, you blew my daughter away because she heard that on the podcast yesterday. She's like, I did not know because she's 25% Mexican too.
Oh.
You have a Native American in you as well.
I do.
Quite a bit.
I did that Ancestry.com, and it came back with like 6% Native American. I knew there was some, but
I thought you had more than that. I thought you had like 8 or 9.
I could be wrong. I have to go look. I kept the records. Ancestry.com. I suggest everybody do it. It's fascinating.
I'm supposed to have Native American in me too, but I don't know. I've never done one of those tests before, and I know some family members have done some tests, and some family members I don't think liked what they saw.
Well, my mom is really into that stuff, and she goes a lot more hardcore. And according to her, that sometimes that DNA can be pretty suspect.
That's what my family member said. They were like, I don't think I trust this.
Yeah,
because they grew up in a family and a house where this was part of their tradition. They was like, this makes no sense.
Yeah, my mom is really in depth doing our family tree, and she's got it. She has us back to the first that we had here in the U.S. and how all that happened.
Well, what's the deal?
She was a woman from England who was an indentured servant, which is I don't know if you put it into the terms of slavery, but she had a child, was a widow, and she started working for this guy. And so for wages, she had to do whatever he said, basically. So,
and this is
this is the first that I had of my family and the first to set foot in the United States.
And they were an indentured servant?
They were an indentured servant, yeah. It was a female. And she wound up marrying the guy over here in the United States and became his wife, but she came over as his servant where he would pay for everything for her, give her room, board, and food, but then she would have to do everything for him.
She didn't want to, probably.
I don't know. I don't know how that works. I think it's slavery, but it's the right to choose. And then, you get the wages and all that kind of stuff paid. I don't know if he gave her extra money.
He was paying her to probably
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how far deep it went. I don't know what the differences are. But I think it was rather, my mom was saying, it sounded like it was almost rather common at the time that could happen, that if you just had nothing. And that was the problem in that era, where if you were a single moms then.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, they were really tough. Like women didn't work. And so if you ever wound up a widow and a younger widow, you were like screwed, because that was just all they had women doing then was taking care of the home or whatever it might be. And so if your husband had died, you were in a bad place. And that's, where she was. And I think she wanted to try again, didn't have family there, and came over here.
What year, circa?
I think it was maybe 1600, somewhere around there.
Damn.
Yeah, she's gone way back. And, she was telling me because one of my relatives, were English and Scottish. And
me too. I'm English, Scottish, Irish, and indigenous Americas.
Yeah, there were a lot of people coming from those countries early
Isn't
on
that
around
cool?
that time.
Where's your...
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where's your...
See...
Where did it say...
They changed it. So originally it said Indian, but now it's changed to Indigenous Americas.
Well, they probably just have gotten PC a little bit with their...
Yeah, it's the same.
It's the same. Okay.
Yeah, it didn't change on that part.
But does it say how much Mexican you have in you?
It says I have 9% Indigenous Americas coming from northeastern Mexico. So I'm a Mexican Indian.
But I think there's more Mexican in you.
Well, that's what I was telling you that
My mom, I'm telling you, her mom is 100% Mexican.
So how do you not have more?
So how do I not have more?
Well, this is what I was telling you guys last week. I'd really kind of gotten an appreciation for watching that Club de Cuervos, which is a show out of Mexico. And they are talking a lot about the indigenous. And there's a lot of European Mexicans,
right.
People that came over, Spanish, French,
yeah.
And then you had, keep in mind, you had the Aztecs, Incas, people that were really the indigenous people that were there before the Europeans came in. And so the Europeans obviously started mixing their bloodlines and whatnot. And watching that show, that's what was fascinating to me, is a lot of the people on the show, they look like they're just American, English. And I'm like, that's odd. And there are a few that are darker, like my wife and my father-in-law. They're indigenous. They've got a little bit more of the Aztec blood in them, so they're not so European. And you can really kind of see it as you look at somebody that's from Mexico. On the show, there's some people with red hair, blue eyes, things like that. You're going, you're Mexican?
Right.
And it's so weird to see that, and there is a definite difference. So... yeah, you're indigenous blood, so you might have with the French and all that. That probably was maybe a French-Mexican type thing, because the French were there. I mean, that was, part of the, we celebrate Cinco de Mayo because it was the Mexicans fighting and beating the French. That's what that was all about, the Battle of Puebla. So...
got a history lesson and an
Bam.
update.
I mean, holy shit.
Yeah.
Cheers to Friday.
Yeah.
You can't cheers with water.
It's the worst.
It's not
Yeah.
happy.
It's terrible.
And so with the DNA that my mom was telling me is she's got a cousin that is kind of doing the whole ancestry stuff too. And it came back that I'm a direct relative of Rob Roy, who was, kind of like a pirate kind of thing, a Scottish pirate, basically. Yeah. And
Scottish pirate. That sounds awesome.
And my mom is not completely bought in because there's a one link missing. She's like, we're close, but she doesn't have the exact proof because she goes on ledgers and church records and things like that from that period. She wants to have a definite confirmation of the link because, and all that she's looked into it, she's like, it's just very suspect. We have that, and we're one link missing from a guy that signed the Declaration of Independence, and so she's doing everything she can to try to get confirmation. So she's doing the deep dive work on that.
It sucks when you think you have something cool going on. I always thought I was related to Billy the Kid, and then it turned out that it was just a bullshit story.
It was a Pennington tale of folklore.
It was just a bunch of bullshit. Billy the Kid and I have nothing in common.
There's a lot of those lies going around in a lot of families.
Renegade spirit.
Oh, you're right. Okay. To Billy the Kid. I think he was a prick, though. I don't think many people. I think he was a bad person. I don't think we should be cheering to Billy the Kid.
Yeah, you got to watch some of these.
Yeah, someone's going to send Kevin an email. Bird, really cheering to Billy the Kid? Do you know what that fucker did? I'm like, sorry. I'm talking about Emilio Estevez version.
Yeah. So let me see here. Talking about the food, the arepas. Apparently, the best hot dog that you can get in the state of Florida is got South American all over it as well. It is in Miami, and it says that they're awarding Food and Wine has given it to El Mago de las Fritas. They say has got the best. It's a Cuban-style hot dog.
Ooh.
The Mago Meaty Dog is what they're saying is the best hot dog, which comes topped with ham, croquetas, potato sticks, and frita meat. It's a seasoned beef and pork blend, the bedrock of the frita, otherwise known as a Cuban burger. That's what they say. So if you want the best hot dog in the state of Florida, according to the Food and Wine, that's where you go get it.
I would try it.
Speaking of hot dogs, I saw a world record I thought would be fun to try to break. It's the longest toss. So I would be throwing a hot dog. I think it's a little over 200 feet. So we'd try to break that record. The longest toss someone can throw a hot dog into a bun. Someone's got to be on the other end and catch the bun. And if you can do that, you get the world record.
I feel like if anybody amongst us is going to be good at tossing wiener, it's you.
And I feel like you would be the one to catch it really well. Just, on basic science.
Yeah.
So will you be my hot dog tosser?
Definitely. I would be sad if you picked anybody else.
Do you hate that as a world record, Kev? The longest hot dog toss and caught in a bun. It's a teamwork kind of a world record.
I think it'd be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's do that for World Record Wednesday. You're my girl.
All right, I'm in.
You're my bun.
I'll make that bun real sticky.
I'll get that hot dog real wet. All right, never mind.
Whoa, hey now. All right.
I was just going to make it sticky so I can catch it better. Because, there's no rules about,
So I feel like
I can get a big ass bun, right?
Yes, I feel like I'll be able to throw it a lot farther than you, and I think you'll be able to catch it.
I think I will.
I just don't think you can throw as far. You have better accuracy, but I think I can throw it farther than you.
I'm short range.
Yes,
you're
short.
long range.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Wow.
World Record Wednesday.
Team has been formed.
How does it feel to try to chase greatness?
Feels great.
Okay.
I feel like now we need some alcohol to cheers to.
There you go.
You're right.
Who's doing any drinking this weekend?
Me. Oh my gosh. I'm going to drink so much tomorrow.
Oh boy. Okay.
Well, so my friend is doing a cooking show and Panda's filming it. So Panda is going to be working the camera, and he asked me to go to be there in there's 2 or 3 people that are going to sit at the bar of the kitchen and eat the food that he's cooking for the cooking show. So the guy who's doing the cooking show is also a wine rep.
Okay.
And last time we went to his house and did this, he bust out, first of all, we drank the whole entire time. But then at the end, he busts out not 1, not 2, but 3 bottles of Dom Perignon.
Oh, you can't say no to that, huh?
No. I was like, this is the best night ever.
I remember I was around some people I didn't really like. They were wine people. And this one douche, I forget the name of the wine, but he comes in the room and goes, guys, we've got Oklahoma in 1943. He says the year. And I was like, 1943. Holy fuck.
yeah.
I'm like, who gives a shit about the year? The wine people love the year, Kev.
Yeah, they do. It's a big deal.
The older the better, right, for wine?
Yeah, a lot of times the older the better.
And no, I think they might have certain seasons, though, where maybe it was a particularly wet year and the grapes are different. And so that's why when you say the year, if you really know your wine, you will be like,
you know the region.
In that region,
and the year.
it was a great year.
Right.
And you're like, oh, wow.
That's exactly what happened. Oklahoma 19...
I don't know any of that, but I like to sit next to somebody that does.
Yeah.
I fucking hated it. It was so annoying. They thought they were better than everybody.
Yeah,
They
they
probably
do.
were.
They were.
Yeah.
They're definitely better than you.
It's so douchey.
So douchey.
I'm over here trying to drink shots of generic whiskey.
Kirkland makes whiskey?
I don't know.
So Virginia's going to go for some beverages
Yes.
this weekend.
I'm going to have Saturday as beverage and Sunday is lay on the sofa and watch the Saints play.
Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah.
1 o'clock game.
Football.
1
Yeah.
o'clock game is perfect for a hangover because you
is.
sleep till about noon. Wake up, make yourself something really bad, and then lay on the sofa.
Very nice.
And then hair of the dog.
No, I can't. I'm getting too
you
old.
don't do that anymore.
Not on a Saturday in October before Halloween. No, I can't. I
Okay.
got to do hair of the dog next weekend.
Okay. All right. There's Virginia.
Next week's Halloween.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
having fun on Saturday.
Shit, it's already fuck. October is gone.
It
Done.
is.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I know. Do you feel like 2020's flown by or is it crept by?
Honestly, man, every year that I get older, it feels like it all just goes by so quick. Even when I'm doing shitty things,
Yeah.
it goes by quick.
Yeah.
I can't keep time in a bottle, man.
I know. That's it. Like sands through the hourglass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't you feel that way too, though? That
It
life
does.
it's speeding by.
Yeah, there's actually a biological reasoning for that. It has to do with kind of your memory and how things sink in and with age and all that stuff. So it gives you the perception that things are happening faster than what they really are.
Why does that mean? I'm just thinking back. We were just preparing for all of this shit with the pandemic. You know, talking about how we're going to broadcast and what happens if someone gets the.
Yeah.
That was in March, man, and that feels like yesterday to me. That does
Yeah.
not feel like that long ago.
No, it doesn't.
It
It's
didn't feel like
weird.
that long ago. It feels long since we did cocktails and karaoke, but it doesn't feel like that long ago. But it does feel like it was a long time ago, just because we haven't done it.
See,
but
it feels like, I don't know what it is. It feels like forever for me. To me, it's like, I'm almost like, yeah, what was that like? It seems like we've been in this, for me, so long.
it would be nice to get back to a routine.
Sometimes when you're in Publix, do you look around and go, what the fuck is going on?
Yes.
Everybody's wearing masks. Like, what? Is this my world?
When I pulled up to get the corona test and the army dudes are there and you see everyone walking around with masks on and all the medical people, if you were to fast forward and not know what the shit was going on, you just saw that out
what
there.
the fuck?
I always bring up how they did.
What have I become?
They did-
What has the world become?
I think it was Big Brother Canada. They were in there for like a month or so, and then they had to tell the contestants there's a global pandemic going on, and you can't leave right now, and all this shit. And they're all like, "What the
what?
Yeah.
We went through it. We didn't get shocked by it. We didn't get sticker shocked by it. Like we saw it was coming. We were like, oh shit. And then it came and then we're living through it. And it's still shocking to us. So imagine how those people felt.
Have you been freaked out at all through the pandemic, Kev? Because I really haven't been. I wouldn't say freaked out.
No, I've not been freaked out at all.
Yeah, I really haven't either.
No, it hasn't shook me. In fact, I was talking to somebody a couple days ago, and they were talking about is it Contagion or what is that movie that had Tootsie in it? Dustin Hoffman.
Outbreak.
Yeah, okay, that's what it was. Outbreak. And we were talking about that, and it was, kind of the same thing, and people were liking it to, oh yeah, we're kind of going through that movie. No, they had like an Ebola type of virus where you would melt from the inside out.
And it mutated too.
And it
mutated something
all
terrible.
it took was a nick in your safety suit, and you got it.
Oh my.
And yeah, I'm like, so this is nothing like that. Yeah, if I would melt from the inside out and I die by shitting my pants, then I'm going to be a little bit more freaked out. But this Yeah, I've had it. You know,
You're right. If it was really like the movie, I would be really freaked out, man.
Yeah, and the numbers on it, I mean, there's,
now, just
people
because,
my age, 99% are surviving it. So, no, it doesn't freak me out.
Just because I say I'm not freaked out doesn't mean I'm not concerned for others. People get it twisted. If you say you're not freaked out, you don't fucking care about humans. That's not true.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not freaked out.
Yeah, I'm not freaked out for me. If I had somebody that had those kind of conditions, then my concern level would be a lot higher. I'm blessed that I'm in a situation where I don't have people in my house that I have to worry about, to that level. So to me, the whole pandemic is more annoying than it is freaky. But everybody's going to be different on how you're set and what your situation is.
With everything in life, everyone's going to handle all. I mean, I knew somebody who got diagnosed with cancer, and you would have thought that they just got a new car. It didn't, at least on the surface, it did not freak them out. And they even said it didn't freak them out. Now, I know other people, they would be very freaked out about that news. Mm-hmm. I mean, everyone handles shit differently.
Yeah, they do. They do. Let me see here. We got the voting right now, and it looks like Colombia is winning on the better arepa, 75% to 25% of the vote. So there you go.
Really?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. That's what
Got a little
saying.
Twitter fight.
Yeah, there you go. And somebody also texted and said instead of the arepas, you should try the El Salvadoran papusas. Okay.
Palpusa?
Papusa.
I'll put a palpusa in my mouth.
I would love a palpusa this weekend.
Papusa. That's just fun to say. Papusa.
Such a fun word.
It is. It's a real fun word. So there you go. We got some new foods to try out this weekend. Good stuff. Also, Becky wanted to do a happy 12th anniversary shout out to my husband and best friend, Doug. Love being your partner on this beautiful adventure. I'm so blessed and proud to be your wife.
Oh,
12 years. You guys hit the dozen mark.
Yeah.
How long have you and the Queen been together? Married?
20, like
20 plus?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Holy shit.
Been a while.
Yeah,
you and Panda are approaching 10, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's just it. Again, back to time.
Flying by.
It's just flying by, y'all.
Mags is driving.
Yeah.
Oh, it's messed up. Mags is like talking about how she wants a car. I'm like,
Oh, she does.
So when did you get her Cadillac?
You need to get a job.
How's she going to tow her jet ski?
We might sell that jet ski.
She needs to get her ass back.
Already?
Well, if she wants a car and she never rides the jet ski, guess what? I'm selling the jet ski.
She doesn't ride it?
Not that much. She'll maybe ride it like 3 times a month.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
we want more.
Yeah.
We want more time.
Yeah.
But what if she wants a car? Are you going to make her get a job again at Publix?
Yeah, I think, well, I don't know. I just don't know where she's going to work. She might work with Justin. I just don't want her in a high traffic situation. I made her quit Publix. And it's because I just didn't want her in a high traffic situation for $10 an hour that she doesn't really need anyway.
Coronavirus concerns?
Yeah, that's when I made her quit.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, she's in school now, so fuck it. I don't know. I don't know what to tell anybody. If y'all get the answers, tell me.
Imagine reading that quote just in print.
Yeah.
That's, by the way, that's how people get in trouble. They say a joke and everyone's laughing in the room. Oh, it's clearly a joke. But then you read it in print. You're like, holy shit. What?
She's heartless.
She is heartless. And people always get that twisted. Jokes in print are very dangerous.
Luckily, nobody's printing this. Yeah. I hope.
Yeah, if you printed the After the Show podcast, we're all canceled.
Yeah. Keith said, jet skis are fun for a day. The novelty wears off. Have you ever noticed that? They should have categories because there are items, things that you can get, and a lot of them are high ticket, where the novelty is gone super fast. And I wanted that with like the paddleboard because I was looking at some of those, and I mean, you can drop an easy $1,000 on a paddleboard.
Yeah, paddle boards go up high too. I would be on the jet ski more. I want her to pull me on that giant inflatable swan I got.
Right.
But she says I'm embarrassing her.
That's how I felt about. I was gonna buy a nice big ass ping pong table because me and you were talking about ping pong a few months back.
Oh, get one so I can come over and kick your ass again.
But that's I feel like we would have a month where we're really talking about it, and then we're gonna get burned, and no one's gonna give a shit, including us, and then it's a laundry table.
Yeah, so that's one of those things. I often wonder.
I'm finally getting my treadmill use. I've been running every single day.
That's got to be one of those. It's good that you're using it, but I
Yes.
think if you wanted to list the highest novelty items that people spend a good chunk of money on and then just don't ever get their money's worth out of it, treadmills has to be in the top 5. If that was an actual list.
/ elliptical.
Yes.
Those things just get no use.
I feel good now because, it wasn't cheap because it's a good treadmill. I do feel good now that I'm using it and it's just not staying there.
Yeah.
I'd walk by it and not use it. I'd start to feel kind of bad. Like, you got to get your
Then
fat
you
ass.
eat a pizza.
Yeah, looking at the treadmill.
Yeah. Yeah, Megan said $1,300 for the paddleboard, and that, is my thought, is I have this grand vision that every day in the afternoon, Peaceful Kev is going to be out paddleboarding. I'm going to get ripped and in great shape because it's such good exercise. I'm going to be in touch with nature. The reality is I'd probably use it once, and then maybe it would, it would just never work out again.
If you lived on the water,
Right.
it would be so much easier. But the whole thing of getting to the water and then getting in the water, and then it's a process.
That's how I was telling Denny's yesterday, and I think some of it's Cobra Kai that I'm watching, and I think the other thing is trying to mix up my workout. Just running on the treadmill is awful. It really is.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to try to join something, and I want to actually join legit karate. But is it like the treadmill? Is it like I do it for a month and a half, I'm buying my gis and shit, and then 2 months in, I go, it's a big commitment, Kevin. We got work to do, and fuck, and I'll go to karate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'm spending a year of karate lessons.
Well, what sucks is too often that big cash investment is at the front end.
Yes.
I like something where it's like, let me get in a subscription type thing where I pay a little bit, and if I get in the groove and I'm like, okay, now financially it makes sense for me to plop down that money.
Yes.
Then I will plop down the money once I'm in the groove and I know that this is a definite part of my life.
I mean, we're talking back in the 80s when Karate Kid was going on. My dad took me and my sister to this karate dojo to see. We met with the master. We sat down. He crunches the numbers for us, and it was so fucking expensive. I think it was something like we're talking back in the 80s. It was like $7,000 for only like a couple of months. And my dad is looking at this guy like, I don't know if we can swing that. And the guy goes, oh, don't worry. You get the gis for free. My dad's like, I don't give a fuck. $7,000 for 2 months?
It sounds like that guy's a shyster.
It was.
Probably, yeah.
And then I ended up taking the most low-budget karate in Lake Park. That was the Spitali.
You're going to YMCA.
Me and Kevin took the shittiest karate as kids.
Yeah, mine was in a garage.
My sensei would beat the fuck out of me.
My sensei would burn me with cigarettes
As
he was beating the fuck out of me.
Or doing a terrible sensei off.
There's no way you beat mine. There's no way.
I've seen the pictures. I've heard the stories. Kevin wins the championship.
Hands down, I'll go toe-to-toe all day on this.
No, my karate instructor actually taught some kids. It was way cheaper than the one that my dad took us to. My dad was like, fuck you.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about time flying by and how people feel about 2020. There is this new article claiming that young adults in their 20s and 30s, they're so unsatisfied with how 2020 has gone. They've missed all these parties, they've missed birthdays and all these fun events, that they are not going to count this on their age, so they're going to skip this year.
I like that.
So it just 2020 doesn't count. I am not on my next birthday. I'm not going to be 22. I'm going to be 21 again.
Can I just roll it back to 46 now?
I think you have to stay where you are, and then you just bypass your next.
So I always roll up on once. As soon as January will hit next year, I just tell people I'm going to be the older age that I will be in May. I already just say, yeah, I'll be 44.
Yeah, you're going to get right to it. Yeah, so it's kind of a new Peter Pan syndrome, they say, where they're like, okay, I'm losing all the joy that I should have had in this year, so I'm not going to grow up. I'm going to stay a child forever.
I get it.
Yeah. That's, hey, whatever you got to do to mentally cope and stay in this game, it's all good. All right, you guys, thanks for being with us this week. Back next week. Excited to do the WRMF $5,000 workday payday. It is a legit $5,000. Let's make it all KVJ Nation or still.
I love it.
Seriously, $5,000 check every Friday for 3 weeks.
I love it.
Yeah, you listen between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., and you'll get the cue to call. If you're call number 9, you get $100. Just say thank you. Then you're qualified for the $5,000, and then we'll pick a winner on Fridays.
Every single Friday.
Yeah, all local winners all day long. So we're going to kick that off on Monday. So we'll see you guys back here then. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.